Would you all join me in the pledge? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here today. Adam and/or Samantha.
I don't really have anything new to report. We've had a fairly busy past couple of weeks. But operationally, we're sound, fully staffed. I mean, I say that, knock on wood. But actually have a couple new ones starting, a full-timer and a PRN starting here soon. Will keep us above par. So happy for that. But outside of that, operations are positive. So you guys have anything for me?
Any questions of our service?
High school did start back up, so we have a EMT and emergency medical responder class going on in the high school right now.
Thank you. Kim, how's the health department going?
It's going good. We're busy. We're getting ready to start back into schools, I think next week, so we'll take our dental bus on the road. And we're still wrapping up grants, and through probably the next couple weeks, we'll finish up on our grant season, and got a new dentist coming in October, so we'll be open on Fridays with dental services, so a lot of big changes coming up, so.
Is that an additional dentist to the gal that came in?
It's a
Is this
part-time.
the guy that used to come in
No.
and do the oral?
No, she's an experience. Actually, she worked, Kathy Eaton is her name, and she was here, I think she left in 2011, but she was here for several years and then left. So, and I think she was part-time then, and she's part-time now. So she'll just, for now, start on Fridays, and we'll see if we can, how much she likes it. We'll get her here another day, hopefully.
Is the budget coming along?
It is, yeah. We've had several audits and reviews, and then now I think that's what she's working on primarily.
Jan.
Yep, Jan.
Couple of things. Would you talk a little bit about the the tattoo issue? And I wanted to discuss parking lot.
The parking lot, okay. The tattoo issue was, let's see, I think we started in on that 1st of July, maybe the first week of July. We had some calls and complaints about illegal, actually it was an email and a call, I think, about someone tattooing illegally out of a home. So the health department does not, that is a state grant. The health department in Edgar, we do not take that grant, so we basically don't do anything with tattoo. It's called body art with the state. So we're working on trying to acquire that from them because the state's really behind in getting inspections. They're behind. They've been behind for several years in body art. So we were kind of able to get nowhere from the state. There was a new person at the state, so I'm working with the regional contacts we have. I didn't get anywhere with them until finally a couple weeks ago in person. They're well aware of it. They are going to send a cease and desist letter. We're still working on trying to get that program from the state because there's just no oversight. I think fire responded to an unresponsive individual at that house, so that really adds to, it's illegal. I have no jurisdiction. It's in the city limits also, which gives me less jurisdiction. But basically, there's just no oversight because it's a home. They're tattooing out of their home. There's a big, hepatitis risk, bloodborne pathogens risk. They usually don't get caught up to until, in this situation, sometimes what happens is a minor gets involved, and when a minor's involved, then usually the state police can get involved. So that's kind of where we're at with that right now. I'll follow back with the state and see where they've gotten and if they've been able to shut this person down. The person is licensed at one time, it looks like in Indiana, and has a pretty busy Facebook site is where a lot of the marketing has been going to. So
just thought we ought to be aware, they might not always be within somebody's city limits.
So I take it that's a license you get and renew on a
Mhm.
yearly basis?
Annually from the state of Illinois.
And Kim was talking about the concern about the fact that you can order the inks off of Amazon and they may not be appropriate or safe or legal.
Right, so if Edgar had the contract from the state, which I'm working on, we would be there annually for a compliance safety check, make sure they have their, all their training and bloodborne pathogen certifications list. Every station is legit, basically, all their materials are safe, and then they're sanitizing or they're using disposable, either way. So those safety checks are in place when the county has that program. Right now, the state admitted to opening facilities, but they just really don't have, there's no follow-up in that. So they get opened, but they don't get an annual compliance check whatsoever. So that's kind of how things get missed.
And that would be under Mike's responsibility as well?
Yeah, usually it's environmental, yep. And we just have one place in town, so, the work is not, it's not that substantial when you're looking at one or two places. It's just you can't do anything about those places when you don't have that. So kind of looking at trying to get that added, and state fiscal year is July 1st, so, if they don't get us added this year, then definitely we should be able to pick it up for next year.
And the other thing was parking lot.
The parking lot, yep, we've had, since the fence went in, I did send some pictures, because I've been talking to the city administrator, about some of the issues next door. They've ripped, the plywood off of that building next door, so people are just in and out all the time. There's some new windows. We've had a lot of traffic, just people cutting through, and a lot of issues in our parking lot. So they put that white fence up on the north end of the property, which made the parking lot where most of the clients park on that north side just a little bit tight. And so last week we had two people kind of hit bumper to bumper. And luckily they haven't, they've come back in, they've said something in both cases. And, they were able to work it out with the private insurance, I believe anyway. But they were able to work it out amongst themselves, and just one had a little bit of damage to the work truck bumper. They weren't worried about it, but 2 in 1 week was concerning to me. There's been cases where I've had to turn around and drive the other way because I just can't get through. There's been one long vehicle parked or two, you can't even drive through the parking lot. So we're thinking we're gonna have to, the parking lot's in really rough shape anyway. It was long overdue for some type of resurfacing, some type of maintenance. But we're gonna have to do something about, I can't have
Who owns
people
that
having
one across the street
accidents.
from the hospital? That possibility of buying that or something?
Catty corner,
Yeah, one
where
where the
there have
house
been
is
the
tore down.
houses for them.
That'd be a possibility maybe.
There's an empty grass lot
Or
right there.
there's also some parking, I know by the time 8:30 rolls around, there are a lot of employees back there,
Yeah,
but.
I feel like we have a big lot.
Maybe
It's
two.
just we need
Yeah.
to stripe off, or
Yeah.
people can't park in both spots, north and south, and then try to back up. There's just not the
Right.
clearance through there. So we thought about either making parallel spots along the north side there where they walk in the front doors, or even striping that off, or no parking, something.
All right, just one set instead of 2 sets, because it's just not, it's not
Right.
big enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, like-
And it's not been striped, and, there's no stripes really
And
out
the
there.
parking lot itself is in kind of rough shape, which
Yeah.
is why I was bringing it up here. Is that something the highway department can get involved in?
He can certainly make recommendations as far as, don't you think?
But
I talked to Aaron about it.
I didn't want to interrupt anybody, but
Okay.
what we need to get you with is Jimmy Simpson. And Jimmy could come over and visit.
Okay.
He got our new lot on the government center striped. They may offer some opinions and some help and
Okay.
guidance.
You need to have some patching done too.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
there was a
that's
couple
pretty tough.
potholes, we had got some cold pack and put in the potholes on the way to the door so my employees wouldn't trip in the potholes. It's pretty rough though, it's pretty bad parking
What
lot.
he might suggest, and we've had a relationship, the county has with the county highway, like at the airport, and we've paid them for some work out there. They, I'm just saying you should explore that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jimmy Simpson is here, we could introduce you if you don't know him.
Okay.
He's here today.
Oh, okay, great.
Did the county
Appreciate
do
that.
some work at Crestwood parking lot?
Uh-huh.
Why couldn't they do it at the health department?
Well, there's no reason, I just, that's what I
Yeah, yeah.
just wanna know, you know, like Lisa said, it's a good resource,
Mhm.
at least to start with, and
Yep,
Right.
I know they'll try to help, they're very cooperative.
thank you. Yep.
I think that was it, that I remembered or wrote down.
Do you have anything to say now, Matt?
No, nothing new.
Okay. Mr. Patrick.
Got things going on. They're working, I mean, just to let everybody know, most of the board knows, but they're working up the courthouse, redoing those, the steps that go to the inner circle. And they're redoing, not the steps necessarily, but the abutments on each side of the walls. So, we went up there and worked with Autobahn. Jeff said that they're pouring some of them need foundations
And they will be starting to pour those
today.
They're digging the foundation area out under those. They've taken apart the wing walls. In most circumstances, I think there's, what, 3 or 4 that they're not gonna have to.
They're just Kentuck Point, and it was Tim that was up there, and he said, you know, he goes, these ones that look good, he goes, sometimes you get into a lot more problems trying to rebuild something that isn't that bad. So a couple of them we can tuck point, like 3 or 4 of them.
And then there at the War Memorial, they're not gonna dig a new foundation because there's a foundation under them.
Okay.
They're just gonna reset them and make sure they look nice at our level.
So, I'm gonna go tomorrow morning, Russ and I are gonna go do the punch list on the actual courthouse itself, as far as there were a couple broken slates and some, work that needed to be added in the new clock tower and some different things, this punch list. And we're gonna go make sure that what's been done, what hadn't been done, so we can kind of wrap up the courthouse.
And then talk to you about the water fountain.
Yeah, I'll
Need
go up there when I'm done and look. I feel like I sure can find something somewhere.
What about the broken window at the top?
That's supposed to be taken care of too. Is it still?
I talked to Ray Cord, he said.
Ray was
What
gonna
Ray
take care
said?
of that.
He said he was gonna do it, he didn't say when. He said something about that or spatial glass or something, I don't know.
Well, those are gas windows. So,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if it's gone or broken, you don't just put another piece of glass in it.
That's
You
what he
just-
said.
Yeah, get it made.
He said he was gonna fix it, so it could be fixed from the inside, I asked him that, he said it could be, so.
Yeah.
The jail had some issues late last week. Water in the basement.
They had another leak in the kitchen. I don't know.
Well, this was around the Johns. I assumed it was where, weren't you on that list? Where Jeff
I
Wood
didn't.
was sending out, and Ray Cordy sent us, you and I, both pictures.
I never got anything from Ray.
So I wasn't made aware of it. It was.
All right, well, at any rate,
You need to let me know. I mean, I never got it.
we're gonna have to take a look at it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he sent us some pictures
Okay.
of some water leak. It looked like it was, isn't there a restroom in the very basement?
Is there a restroom
Yeah,
in the
there's
basement?
a
Yeah.
Now there is
shower.
back shower.
And there's,
Shower.
and there's leakage. And he was gonna call Jason to see if Jason could take a look at that.
Okay.
I didn't ask him to, he just was in the process.
Oh, that's
He
good.
just wanted you and I to
You
know,
know,
so
Lee, get something fixed.
you may call Ray.
I'll get over Ray too. Okay.
Out at the ESDA Center. They've got the pit dug and they've got the base in for the tower. They're moving forward and everything. Everything looked good out there. So they're just waiting for that to get done, and then the guy from, is Bruce? No. The guy from the radio. Brad. I have trouble remembering that. Anyway, Brad was coming out to reprogram some radios and start to get them set up. Okay, they're waiting for a final piece on the tower. But it is in, the hole's dug and it's waiting for concrete. All right, they got the tables in, they look nice, they got chairs, so they can have a meeting. They've got TVs. Ross got everything hooked up and working. And
So they operating now.
out for 2 weeks now. This is their third week beginning. Okay?
Is the generator in?
Yeah.
Generator.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The tank is in, the generator isn't in until they get everything set, and then the generator will get put in. Okay? How about you, Dan?
Not much. I'm under the weather, but tried to talk to Andrew last week. Every time I went by, she wasn't there, but there was a nice article in the paper Saturday about the animal shelter. I don't know if you read it or not, but we appreciate that. Really nice article. But it has some other things. I've been around town too much. People asking questions I need to probably get some answers for. So.
Do we do foster at the animal shelter, foster care?
Not that I know of.
Because I
Not a good
know
idea, but.
in Springfield, my daughter,
Yeah.
for example, does
Foster,
foster.
yeah.
And like if they get a litter in, there are folks that love to have that, but don't want a long-term
Right.
commitment.
I don't know, she's never talked about fostering animals.
Just,
I'll ask her about it. It'd be a good idea.
well, I'm
She's
just,
pretty full though, isn't she?
40, 46.
Kind of hard to foster when you're
Yeah, I know.
full house.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
She
well,
did get
no,
3.
it's,
They-
the people actually
yeah.
take them home.
They take them home.
In other words,
Like,
if there's,
well, they used to do that. I
if there's
think.
puppies, somebody may take home 2 or 3
What they
puppies to
call them.
foster them, or cats.
Fostered some, when she worked for us, she would take care of
My
some.
mom lost them, we get attached to them, or keep them.
That's okay too. That's okay too. That's okay too.
After 2 days, I
Yeah.
got my dog.
Yeah.
And one other thing, I want to skip back, are you all set on the questions that you were being asked about concrete bidding? I
That's
want
all done.
everybody
It's-
here.
To my knowledge, he's
I had that
satisfied.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
These questions I have nothing to do with the shelter. I could bring them up later or now.
Oh, you're fine.
Had one guy wants to start a solar farm, and he's gonna sell his electricity to Amron. He wants to know the procedure. So he usually has to come through the board, right, to be okayed? About 40 acres or something like that. It has to come through the board. I told him it did, I don't know.
Well, there's a lot that has to be done before it comes
Yeah,
to
he
the board.
said, well, they said the company would take care of everything.
They need to go to Dina first.
I think it's out northwest, but I didn't get the name
They
of the
need to go
person.
to Dina.
They
Pardon?
file with the clerk and recorder.
Okay, I didn't know the procedure. That eventually comes through the board, then we have to okay it, or do we have to?
Eventually.
We have, there's a public hearing and then it gets
Okay,
approved
yeah.
or not.
Yeah, it's out northwest, I didn't get the name of the person, but it's like 40 acres or something like that, so I don't know. And one person wanted to know why on a project, if it's over 30,000, you have to bid it out, right?
No.
They said,
Not
why not,
necessarily.
why is it so high? Why not 10,000?
Okay, if we just have, we want to go out and bid a separate project that's never been bid before, and if we think it's going to be over $30,000, we have to bid it.
Okay.
If it's part of an existing bid or project, and is a modification to the original project, it doesn't have to be bid.
Is that the reason why the steps didn't have to be bid out?
Correct.
I wasn't for sure on that, so I'll check on it, I don't know, but couple of people asked me about that, so.
And the 30,000 is a
State law, it's a state law.
Okay, we had that book, I know the book we got, I looked through, I couldn't find it in the book where it said specific amount, so,
30,000.
yeah. It's, well, this person, I don't know why it's so high, probably because they had something on bid out.
Well, years
It
ago,
wanted
it
to be
used to
on
be
the
10.
10,000.
Then it was 20, and then now it's 30, and
Okay.
probably in another few years, it'll be 50.
Okay, I just wondered,
Yep.
I knew it was 30, but I didn't understand why.
State law.
Okay. And the staff, you kind of answered that, so they asked about that a couple times.
You and I talked about that on the
Yes,
phone the
yes,
other
we
day.
did. Yep, and I told you understood.
Yeah.
I told you did a great job. I lied about that.
That's-
That's it.
You sure you just want to go one more turn?
I'm done.
No, sure, seriously.
Had a broken rib and had a tooth pulled last week, so that was kind
Oh, you're in an amazingly good mood
of,
then.
fell out of the golf cart.
It's the drug it's on.
Fell out of the golf cart picking up golf balls.
I thought you said you fell off the golf course.
No, I fell off the golf cart. Otherwise, I'm in good shape. Thank you.
No tickling, right?
No.
Yes, I know it's gonna be hard to follow, Russ, but you're next.
Gonna have to pass.
I was just looking at the jail
Yep.
compliance thing, and I thought we had the audit done.
I asked Augie, audit was available to everybody.
I just seen where he forwarded it again.
Yeah, and I guess
They're still
Ryan
claiming that they
simply
don't have it.
doesn't have it in his possession, so
Yeah, it was-
when they were
he had
in,
it. He had a hard copy of it. I'll talk to him today.
So,
You know.
so we'll send it to the state so they can get a copy of it.
but the point was, just like everything else, if you ask one of our folks what they're doing and they don't know, you know, it's, the thing that bothers me most is we're coming up on renewal.
Mhm.
And we're gonna have our stuff out there, and not only did we not have that done or available to the right people, we've got to have, people not going around every half hour and personally checking on prisoners.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
even
Have you
bigger.
seen this, the jail audit, or the jail
Compliance check.
inspection? Yeah,
What's-
compliance.
What's the date on it?
That's the new one I just sent you guys Friday.
It was, they did it on June 13th, and I don't know when
It just came
it just came.
Here's a copy of it for you.
Thursday.
But you might address those issues with Ryan,
Okay.
or make the sheriff aware, you know, if sheriff maybe hadn't seen a copy of it. One of you talk with Ryan, because that shift coverage on the supervision,
It's 2/3 way down the page, A, shift.
Mhm.
you know, one other time they brought that up. And Ryan, I think we talked to Ryan about it, and he was supposed to make sure they did that, and,
I'll follow up with him today.
Yeah, we're at 96.5%.
right.
I don't know whether you can actually get to 100, can you?
There's no reason you can't be at 100.
Well, that's
You
fine.
got two jailers, between two jailers on every shift, that they can't every 30 minutes make that check.
And we've
I mean-
given them the tools, right? All
Well,
of,
yeah,
they've got
it's
the,
all- I mean, I guess you could be in a situation where you're booking someone in, you're arresting someone, you might miss that 30-minute check, you know, but sometime in the next half hour you get it done, but,
Short of something,
yeah, I mean,
Going
there's
on.
things come up, I mean, I get it,
I'll follow up with him today.
so follow up with him on that.
it's certainly a hell of a lot better than it was a couple of years ago,
Yes,
but that's
definitely.
not the point.
Yeah. We got it.
We've got the right number of jailers, and we've got the right supervisor, and
Yep. That's it.
Phil,
Nope.
Lisa,
Do we need to go into closed session?
they all know about it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think we need to talk about an individual as much as we can just talk in general terms,
All right,
and we can, I mean, we don't have any secrets,
no,
okay?
all right. Also, we are looking for a new payroll coordinator, payroll HR
I was
coordinator.
gonna ask that question.
So, that's it in a nutshell.
Could I ask where she went?
No?
Okay. I'm not in.
We don't know for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
She has other business concerns, and that's all we can say.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean,
That's
even
fine.
closed
And it really
session.
wouldn't matter.
No,
Yeah, all right. I did meet with Pam this morning, and we also have an individual that has worked payroll before that would like to be back up. We have Billy Ann, who's been helping with addressing some of the deficiencies in knowledge that we've experienced for quite a while since she left, and that's very good. We also are putting feelers out to a couple people in the county, within our ranks, and also a couple people that work tangentially with us to talk whether they might be available to pick up the hours, because it's not a full-time position at this point. So, at any rate, that's what's going on. And they're reaching out this morning and this afternoon.
So Pam will continue to cover it for the next 2 or 3 months and provide training. And
Along with Billy Ann.
Billy Ann and Jennifer Garrett knows a lot of it as well. She was in on the implementation, so we're not leaving anything hanging. We just need another permanent
well,
person.
you're qualified too, aren't you?
I'm dying to do it.
Just
She'll
ask.
die if she doesn't.
Sorry.
And I'm remiss, I forgot to ask you if you wanted to address the board.
I do, and I apologize. I went to the courthouse first, and then they sent me to the treasurer's office, so that's why I'm late.
Well, we were trying to get rid of you, I guess that didn't work, so.
Just needed to send her the estimates.
You found us.
Yeah, I did.
If you could state your name, and we'd be glad to hear from you, thank you.
Yes, my name is Betsy Higginbotham, and I'm here on behalf of the Paris Kiwanis. Our question is, we're coming to you directly so that we can find out what's going out with before we put out the map for the Honeybee Festival. Is it going to be done? I'm sure that's the $1 million question,
what-
right?
That's what we're shooting for.
Okay.
Shaggy, who is the superintendent over the courthouse and out here at the jail, is where in his, said to us the other day, his function is to get everything done before the festival,
Okay. And
at the
so,
courthouse.
so the dates,
What day is the festival?
it's Friday and Saturday, September 27th and 28th.
Okay, so we got a month.
Yeah, he mentioned those dates. He said
Yeah.
his goal is to
Yeah,
have
he
everything
was-
complete.
Okay.
I was
Tear that
surprised.
Fence down and everything.
I was
Okay.
impressed that he
Yeah.
actually, because we didn't ask him, he already knew,
Okay.
Right.
so.
Well, I was working on the map, and the map, actually, since it's an aerial view of, like, straight down, it actually has the fence in it, and then that's what made me think, I wonder if that's gonna be done or not, so.
The new sidewalks, we're gonna be replacing, I think, 44 cracked and broken structures in the sidewalk. All of that's supposed to be done here in the next week or two.
Okay.
So they're working feverishly if you've
It-
been by there this morning.
Yes, yeah, I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
How's the treasurer's office?
Well, I the only one was there first was you too. I was at both places.
But we appreciate you being here, and for once, I think we're on top of it, given the weather cooperates. Now, once it's done, there may be some seeding and strawing going on, but it's gonna look nice.
Yeah.
How's that?
And I just was, with that gate last year, we put one bounce house on one side and one bounce house on the other. And then when the kids came up for school, the teachers were very concerned because they were going through the street, even though the street was blocked off. It still was a concern for the teachers. And so in my head, I just wanted to, when I put out the map, I want to be kind of mindful of that stuff, so.
If you have any concerns over the next few weeks or want any updates, you know Augie, don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you?
Sure do.
Should give Augie a call and if he can't tell you, I'm sure he'll get the information you need,
Okay,
and we'll keep you up to date.
Yeah, because you say if something comes up that we'll see that it's gonna be past that, we'll give you the information as soon as we can,
okay.
so you can kind of find out.
And then as far as you are aware, all of the electrical outlets and all of the water works for the food
It
vendors?
should, as far as I know, they haven't.
The electrical does it right
That's-
now.
Okay.
No water,
Well, where do they get water?
Yeah, I was going-
Off the building?
So there's on the Sunrise, is it-
southeast.
on the east side, there's like, I just know that Brian has always had like a huge board. I don't know where he gets it from, and maybe that's one of the questions I need to ask you, but it has a bunch of like spouts on it, and he hooks that into a water supply.
Well, I know the other day,
The sheriff turned it on.
Autobahn needed some water, and he went down and turned the water on, so I know that fountain,
Okay.
or,
And then I think
Stick
there's
like it works.
another one for the west side in the fountain.
The water fountain.
The west side
fountain's
is what he turned on, yeah, I thought, well.
east side.
East side.
But yeah, there's water at the fountain, so yeah, that shouldn't be nothing any different.
Okay.
I know when they were doing the tile work here a couple of weeks ago, they got into a power line going to
The
the War
memorial.
Memorial,
And
but they
that's already
fixed it,
fixed.
so everything should be
And I know
working like
they're
last year.
using the electric, outlets on the street right now, so.
Yeah, right, yeah, so
I
everything
would
should be
suggest
Okay,
like last year.
Okay.
Shouldn't be any
Try it.
different.
good.
the water on the east side, the spigot needs to be looked at because even when you turn it off, it still leaks. So we
Okay.
probably need to get that taken care of.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, Jason,
it wouldn't be a bad idea just to have them go out and check it. They're
Right.
all
At
working.
least break.
And
probably
sometimes,
that.
you know, that stem that goes up in it, that's,
Right,
Yeah.
just the seal.
yeah.
And then the other question, there was a few trees that came down in that storm that came through, and there was like a kind of some holes left after the trees were taken out. Did those, and this was on the, west side, did that get filled in?
Yes.
where the storm damage there by the water fountain, for a little while there, it hadn't been taken care of, and we were, dirt poor,
You mean when they take the stumps out?
No, it's when that tree tipped over and left a hole.
we'll check that tomorrow and
Got
if
that
not,
one
get hold of
tree
Dusty
that
and
right
get,
across from the
Yeah.
treasurer's office?
yeah, get
Like,
Dusty. if
right
it's-
next to the fountain is
Right.
where it was,
If
yeah,
it's still there, get Dusty to take care of it.
Yeah.
okay,
Or the folks that are working it right now.
Well, yeah, they'll probably have some extra dirt,
Yeah,
voices could just go level
Just
it all.
tell Scooby,
Yeah.
point to it and say, Scooby,
Yeah.
and you make sure that gets filled.
That's right.
I like to. Well, that's not as bad as when I called Mary Jane's out there.
So that's
We'll
the
get that
first
taken care of.
question.
Her.
How personal?
Just wanna know, what's her dad's name?
Carl,
What's her granddad's name?
Carl,
Oh, well, Bill, in relation to Bill.
that's my husband's dad,
He ran track for me in high school.
Oh.
Tell him Coach Bruner's asking about him.
okay.
Yeah, Bill was good track,
Yes, he was.
cross-country guy.
Excellent.
What's his last name?
He got shot in the arm when he was in high
Oh,
school.
Billy, yeah, that lives out east of town. Or west of
Tell him I
town.
was asking
That's-
about him.
I will.
Okay.
Augie, do you
That's
have
not a bad
anything
problem.
today?
No.
Just let you know that we're getting busy with the election coming up. We mailed out 11,000 postcards, and that's a requirement for federal presidential election. But thank God we don't have to do it every year. Let's
Did you
see.
lick the stamps on every one of them?
No, I got people to do that for me.
Good thinking, Artie.
So we're getting busy with that, but simultaneously, we're also working on the next year's April 1st consolidated election. School boards, villages, library districts, fire protection districts.
Townships,
Townships will caucus,
yeah.
so there's nothing there coming up. Well, that caucus comes up in December.
Is it really?
Yeah, and they're already circulating petitions now for next April's election.
Good.
So there's a lot going on that way. I didn't think of it while Dan was talking, but Dan, on your solar ordinance person, our solar ordinance is on the website,
Okay,
our website, so, and I think
I'll tell him.
that's a must-see.
okay.
They need to see
Yeah,
that.
Thank you.
And,
And the instructions.
yeah, what was the other thing?
I did get with Josh about that demand check for Jason. Okay,
Okay.
And so the title and everything is done.
absolutely.
Is he done at the courthouse completely?
It looks really
Jason, is he done at the courthouse?
Yeah, he did a
Maybe
nice
get to
job.
my house within
What do you do?
under a year. He's got at least 15 minutes worth he can't get to.
I think that's it.
Anything else to come before the meeting? I need to officially ask, is there any other public comment? Hearing none, motion to adjourn, please. Russ? Russ, you beat Andy this
Oh, yeah.
time. Russ and Andy, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Somebody ever vote no on that? For adjournment?